Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining me for this week's edition of Tina Talks Finance. This month's theme is identity theft. Today, I'll talk about the government agencies that will help with ID theft and protection. First, the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau has many handouts and a downloadable book that is free from their website, consumerfinance.gov. You can request free copies to be sent, and they will even pay for shipping if this is something that you want to learn more about. Also, the Federal Trade Commission has several resources available as well. They have aid available for attorneys that counsel victims of ID theft. They have information for businesses about employee identity theft. They have law enforcement resources for people that are helping victims recover from identity theft. They also have free handouts, booklet, presentations all ready to go. They have the presentation put together and videos about identity protection that you can show during your presentation if you're not doing a Facebook Live. So to get to their website to find all of these wonderful resources, just go to consumer.ftc for Federal Trade Commission.gov. The Oklahoma Bureau of Investigation is another resource, OSBI. That's for residents of Oklahoma. And they have a step-by-step process of following identity theft of a passport. And apparently, Oklahoma is one of the few states that don't hold victims accountable for identity theft that was done in their name by someone else. I found that very interesting. I did not know that until I was researching to give you this information. So if you want to read more about that, go to OSBI, Oklahoma State Bureau of Investigation.ok.gov. Then the next would be the Oklahoma Attorney General's Office. They have quite a bit of resources that I was pretty happy to come across. So they have the coronavirus fraud resources, and they also have a lot of identity theft protection that's related to COVID on unemployment fraud, avoiding cyber crimes, so making sure your passwords are secure, making sure that you're not using the same password over and over, using passphrases, things like that. About fake tests and vaccines and cures. Remember, for coronavirus right now, there's not an effective vaccine or cure, all that will just fix it right up. But there are lots of people that are already selling different things. Just think of them all as snake oil right now. Also, they have resources to help you figure out about bonus texts and phone calls and fraudulent charitable operations. That made me a little sad to read that that's out there. But yes, if someone calls and says that they want you to contribute to their charitable campaign, you probably need to make sure that that charity actually exists. Also, utility collection fraud, which is something that I didn't think about either. So, if OG&E calls and says, hey, we need you to pay right now, that is probably not OG&E that's calling you, especially if you've paid your bill religiously for the last several months. Probably not something that is legitimate. And fraudulent economic payment schemes. So the economic payment is the stimulus checks that are coming out. And Congress is kind of thinking about sending another round of economic payments to help stimulate the economy to bring us back from COVID. If that passes, you will want to have already completed the Form 3911 if you have not filed your 2019 or 18 tax returns to set up an auto pay from the IRS. That will make that payment much, much faster, and it will help to make sure that there's no fraud, that it doesn't get delivered to the wrong address or anything like that. And remember that no one should charge you to do what you can easily do yourself for free. So filling out that 3911 form, that probably sounds really scary, but if you look at the form, it is very easy. It's things like name, address, bank account number, routing number. These are things that are on your checks. Then you'll have to say your income. And if you're on Social Security, that's easy. Just look at your income from last year and you put that number that it says on your statement in the right box. And that's really as hard as that gets. So you really don't need to pay someone else to complete that form for you. So those are some of the resources that I put together just to kind of help you know where to go if you are a victim of identity theft or if you're presenting about identity theft protection. There are lots of resources. Again, I'll go through those websites really fast. The Federal Trade Commission is consumer.ftc.gov, and the OSBI, the Oklahoma State Bureau of Investigation, is osbi.ok.gov, and the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, it's consumerfinance.gov. Any questions? Give you just a few seconds to type those in to the chat box if you have anything you want to ask me. Okay, well, thank you for joining me for this week's edition of Tina Talks Finance. If you enjoyed this episode and want more, please search hashtag Tina Talks Finance to view previous recordings. August will be back to school month, and I hope you will join us next Thursday at 10 a.m. Central as we discuss back to school shopping. Have a good day, everybody. Bye.